Hello guys and welcome to Champs Crypto. Today I actually decided to start a live stream instead of making a video because I'm a bit late on the schedule of the regular posting of the daily content. So I decided to actually test a bit of trying to go live streaming because this is what I do actually on a daily basis on my Arabic channel. And as you know, I've got the Moon's weekend show tomorrow on Saturday and Sunday. Hence why I think it's very good to put in some reps in, actually share my trades and tell you where is Bitcoin going next. Because as you can see, I don't want to take a very long time in this live stream because Bitcoin right now is actually doing something that's very interesting. Is actually still battling among or with actually the resistance line we need to break, which is 110.2. I'm going to explain to you guys why I'm still holding on into my shorts and also my longs, where I'm expecting Bitcoin to go next, and also where is the closest idea to scalp Bitcoin, especially because as I told you guys, I'm mainly a daily trader. Hence why I'm going to obviously mention the best long and short setups in case Bitcoin pumps or even dumps. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin right now, and is this harmonic pattern, as you can see, is it going to play out? I'm going to talk about it, how Bitcoin can actually reach and hit 119, 120. Thank you, Ember, for watching me. Let's get right into Bitcoin, because as you can see, let's forget about the harmonic pattern for a second. If I go to the 30-minute time frame, guys, as you can see what happened basically today, as you can see, Bitcoin, the inflation number, the CPI data came out bullish because as you know, the forecast was something that's bearish. As you can see, let me pull up the numbers. As you can see, we've got the forecast being or was 0.3% and the actual data numbers were 0.2%. So we've got, not only do we get something that is better than the previous amount of data, but also something that is even better than the forecasted numbers. So we've got bullish numbers. We've seen the inflation going down, which is actually super bullish. However, this is why I always tell you guys to never trade the news, because as you can see, if we go to the lower time frame, let's go to the 5-minute time frame. What happened? Literally, as the data came out, we saw a random pump to the upside with people trying to long the bullish news, basically just reading that something bullish and then entering a long. And then what happened? People got stuck into their longs at the top, and also the price just took out liquidity, and then we got a dump. This is why I also always tell you guys to never try to actually base your trading, whether long or short, basically based on the news that come up. As I told you guys, that inflation data being lower than expected is something that's super bullish, but however, it could actually take weeks to even months for us to see this reflected in the price action. Hence why I always tell you guys to be cautious when a data number comes up. It's always the best opportunity for whales to fake you guys out, fake out the retail traders, and then for us to do something that is very weird and something that is very easy to get people liquidated and then do the opposite. As you can see, basically the price did not pump, although the inflation numbers were very good. We got a decrease in the inflation, and then as you can see, Bitcoin right now is going down. I'm going to talk about when exactly are we going to see Bitcoin pump to 120,000, if we are going to do so. As you can see, because we got this harmonic play, I do not think, or I do not care much about this harmonic pattern, guys, as that's something that I like to pay attention to is basically volume and liquidity. And if I go back to the 4-hourly time frame, let's increase the time frame and actually take the same volume profile pull that I've been taking literally since we had made this range. As I told you guys, and as I've explained in my English channel and also in the Arabic channel, as you know guys, I'm posting daily live streams on my 8.69k, almost 8.7k subs on my Arabic channel. However, I'm also trying to grow this new English channel. So basically, I'm posting daily. However, I decided to test for the second time to go live because I think it's a better, to be honest, it's a better format for the way I like to trade. It's better for us to go in depth, give you an hour or so of me talking about trades and expectations. So although my channel started as some daily quick videos, I'm trying to keep them up. However, I'm also testing the waters with testing out live streams as I do with my Arabic channel. So I always give them an hour. Once the New York session opens, I always give them an hour in live streams. As you can see, basically an hour when the market opens. We literally just hit 8.7k on the Arabic channel, as you can see. So I give them an hour of my time during the market open. I'm also trying to test that in my English channel. If you're interested, please drop a comment below, because hopefully this would be actually something that is very nice. Thank you, Bongs, for the nice comment. Thank you guys for I appreciate this to be honest, this support, because I haven't quite planned it yet. I haven't made like a certain time where I'm going to go live. I'm trying to test it out because, as I told you guys, I'm going to go live on the Moon's weekend show tomorrow on Saturday and Sunday. So we've got a gap, basically, especially if you have started watching me. As I told you guys, I'm not trying to over talk. However, I want to talk about Bitcoin, but just let me give me a minute to explain this, because as I told you guys, I'm a new member in the Moon's show family. So basically, Crypto Kid is posting from Monday to Friday. What I do is, for my new show, is basically I post on Saturdays and Sundays. So tomorrow I'm going to have Saturday and Sunday where I'm going to go live. As you can see, I did that twice last week. So tomorrow we got 2 live streams, or sorry, tomorrow and after tomorrow we got 2 live streams on the Moon shows. However, so we've got a gap of Monday to Friday, 5 days to fill. I'd like, to be honest, in the best case scenario for me, to start going live on my English channel. And also, I'm not going to stop doing the quick short videos. However, I also think that's very quite, to be honest, useful to also go live on this channel as I do with my Arabic channel. So anyways, if you want to support me, hit the notification bell, because I'm going to probably increase the amount of live streams I start to do on a weekly basis, or on a daily basis, basically. So let's get right into Bitcoin, because as I told you, the way I like to treat Bitcoin, the way I like to do analysis on Bitcoin, is basically use the volume profile tool. And I also like to break down Bitcoin into multiple ranges. So as I told you, the way I've been viewing Bitcoin in the past 3 months, guys, if I was looking at Bitcoin as if it has been ranging since, especially because we had broken out of 110, I think on the 9th or 10th of July, and then we started making a new range. So the way I like to keep an eye on Bitcoin is I basically take a look at this range and then use a volume profile pull, literally from the 110 from July 10th to the current price action, and you'd get some extra important data that would actually tell us whether Bitcoin is going to hit $120,000 or not. So basically, the way I like to view this is, we got an idea that I also teach in my mentorship, which is called the value area rotation. The idea basically is, if you got a range, as I told you, guys, we got this range. If you use a volume profile tool, so we got this range. If you use a volume profile tool within it, as you can see, you would get 2 lines, which are the value area high and the value area low. We got value area high sitting at 119.7, and we also got the value area low sitting at 110.5. And the idea is basically where the volume rotation is called, because as you can see, basically in the past 3 months, we had seen Bitcoin, every time it had gone above the value area low, the line at the bottom, the blue line at the bottom, it literally rotates back up to the value area high. And once we lose the value area high, we had seen it go down close to the value area low. And as you can see, we've got 1 and then 2 and then 3, 4 and then 5 and 6 and 7. So the idea is, what I'm trying to say is, basically, for this harmonic pattern to play out, let me make it more visible. As you can see, we've got this harmonic pattern that could actually play out. But I don't like to trade based on these harmonic patterns. I don't trade them. I don't like, to be honest, pay much attention to them. However, the way I like to predict this to happen or not is basically for us to see a break of 111, 110.5. As you can see, we've got the point of control and also the value area low. So for us to start thinking about this pattern actually happening, for D to be put, or the letter D to be put at 118, 119, 120, we need to see Bitcoin go back above 110.5 to 111.2 for us to go back above the value area low, and then for us to target, as we had done a couple of previous times. As you can see, this time we had gone under, went up, held the value area low, and then we saw a pump. And also the last time in the bearish side, we saw Bitcoin lose 120, lose the value area high, and then drop down to the value area low at 110.5. So as you can see, we've got literally case studies, we got proof that this actually could happen, but we need the value area low and also the point of control, because they sit very close to each other. As you can see, we got the volume profile, point of control, also the value low. So we need for Bitcoin to break 110.5 to 111.2 for us to then see a nice pump. If this does not happen, we can cancel, or we could actually cancel the idea of this harmonic pattern. So I'm not calling for Bitcoin as something that's bearish or bullish. We need to be waiting for a clear break of 111.2. However, as I told you guys, I never like to trade breakouts. I'd never, guys, tell you that we need to break something and then we need to break a certain resistance line, and then if we do that, then I'm going to be putting a long, because as I told you guys, I never trade, I never get into longs when the price is going up. So I'm going to mention an idea or two ideas or three maybe of scalp longs if the price keeps on going down. However, do not expect me to tell you guys that if we see a break 111.2, then you should put a long in. I never do this. As you can see, if we see this, I'd never put a long here because multiple times we always see fake outs. As you can see, last two times where we had tested or tried to break the value area low, as you can see, this time was a fake out. The second time was also a fake out. So I never like to trade breakouts, guys. Never trade breakouts because, as I told you guys, Bitcoin, if I go to a chart where it's like an empty side, as you can see, if we go back up, as you can see, basically the idea, if you have a resistance line and then also a support line, is always better to be thinking about shorting a hit of resistance rather than thinking about maybe we break resistance and then get into a long, because even if this happens, there's a high likelihood, a high chance of Bitcoin faking you out, making you get into a long, and then for you to go down. So preferably, if you want to avoid this, avoid being liquidated, if you still haven't been able to turn profitable within your trading, it's better to stop the idea or the notion of us going long when the price is going up and us going short when the price is going down. It's always better to position yourself where you've got longs when the price is going down. I don't want to flex my longs. I'm not trying to flex the open trades that I've got right now on weeks. I'll also lose trades. However, I'd rather lose a trade when, for example, the price is going down. I'd rather long and then lose the trade rather than me actually trying to short when the price is going down. It's always best to plan a short when the price is going up and plan a long when the price is going down. And sometimes you can even like watch the price go down, don't have a good long idea to be had, so you just watch the price going down or going up. You shouldn't be over trading, guys. So as you can see right now on the lower time frame, I've got a short literally from the top. I've given you guys this exact short as I went short. I posted on my free Telegram channel. I think I've got it in the description. So if you want to actually follow me on that channel, as you can see, if I go to the current live stream, I think it's the second link, or exactly. So we got this second link where I always try to post the link for a new video or a new live stream. But also, whenever I cannot make a quick video, I try to go or post something that is very useful on the Telegram channel. So actually, although I'm against giving you guys like random signals, I call them blind signals. I don't like them. However, when I took that short, I literally posted it right away on my free Telegram channel. So if you're interested, you can actually get some nice support or nice posts whenever I actually decide to put something that is very useful over on the Telegram channel. Because I literally, when the price, I saw Bitcoin, as you can see last time we talked about Bitcoin, let's go back to the TA. As you can see, last time we had actually been monitoring Bitcoin. We had planned to go long once we hit 107. However, let me just remove the trading volume profile. Give me a second. Okay, so if you go down to the lower time frame, we actually back, I think for like 3 days ago, we had planned to go long. As you can see, when Bitcoin was at this level, I told you guys that I'm planning to go long if we actually drop below 107 and then reclaim it. However, what happened is basically we saw a random bump, a strong pump over on Bitcoin, and then I didn't actually quite long this area. I saw a pump, I saw the hit of this anchored view up, and I perfectly told you guys to short this line, which is actually why I still hold literally a short from the literal local top, as you can see. Hence why I actually was able to luckily short the pump. As you can see, I never thought about longing a random long. I had an idea to long if the price, it was actually very close to my entry. I was planning to go long if you just hit or go below 107.4. However, Bitcoin decided not to give me the long. I was actually watching with no care, to be honest. I was watching Bitcoin pump from 107 to 114. I did not get any longs whilst the price was going up. But when I saw, as you can see, when I saw Bitcoin hit this anchored VWAP, this anchored VWAP is basically very important, guys, because if you do not know what that tool is, basically this is a tool where you can actually put it whenever or wherever you actually want. So the way to use it is to actually put it at the beginning of a downtrend or at the beginning of an uptrend, and it would act as resistance or as support, basically depending on if you're putting it on as from the downtrend or from support. So I've got an anchored VWAP. As you can see how strong and powerful this tool is. As you can see, it's basically a free tool. It's not a random magical to be honest, like indicator. Just a tool that can actually, it's readily available on TradingView, free to use, free to put whatever you want, but the idea is where or how to actually put it in the right place. As you can see, currently I only have two anchored VWAP pools because I'm trying to minimize the amount of times I use it, but only put it in the best places that makes the most sense. So I've got the anchored VWAP. I got it at since we had started this little local uptrend, and I also got it from this literally the all-time high downtrend. So I've got this all-time high downtrend, and then once I saw Bitcoin not offer me the 107 long trade, I saw it randomly pump. I stayed calm. I did not do anything. I did not long among this random pump to the upside. However, I also saw that Bitcoin had some nice liquidity sitting at 113.5, and I also saw Bitcoin hitting this anchored view up. If I go to the lower time frame, just for us to not have this harmonic pattern, as you can see, we had the 113.7, and I also saw 114 being the anchored view up resistance line from the all-time high. So I saw Bitcoin not give me the long. I stayed calm. I waited for a pump, and then I looked for the best opportunity, the best logical chance for me to go short. So I saw this hit, and I immediately jumped into a short, as you can see, at 113.1. Right now I have moved my stop at entry. I took 50% profit off, and I also shared that exact post. If you're interested, you can actually go to the description to the second link, go to my free Telegram, and actually go up and see how and when exactly I posted the exact trade, because I wanted for you guys to actually get into that trade alongside with me. So as you can see, what happened basically on Bitcoin, we got a perfect hit of 114 for us to take liquidity, hit the anchored view up, the best and most amazing, to be honest, tool that have been actually working wonderfully for us. As you can see, we had hit it. And then once we had hit it, we immediately went down as quickly as we had went up. We literally removed and extracted all the money out of the market as we had pumped. We quickly dumped, as you can see. Hence why. And then what happened? As I told you guys, a quick reminder, I told you guys I was actually waiting for a long at this level, but it didn't quite happen because we saw a pump. So what I actually did, I stayed calm, took a short when we hit 114, and then I waited. Luckily, I was quite fortunate, to be honest. I was quite fortunate for Bitcoin to offer me a short, and then also to go back down, hit the most important area, whereas I was planning originally to go long, as you can see, and then for me to go long and actually get the best short and long simultaneously, as you can see, guys. So if I go back, remove the replay button. Sorry if I'm taking a while. I just want to give you a quick idea, a quick rundown of what happened this week and how I was able to get a long and a short simultaneously. As you guys know, over on weeks, we can literally on the top right corner, we can have it isolated, separated. So I can literally get into a long and a short simultaneously, or not simultaneously, but have them open at the same time, guys. So what I'm trying to say is like you can have different ideas. You can open shorts and longs without you being overly bearish or overly bullish. It's not something bad. Although maybe someone who is like just getting into trading would be a bit confused on what kind of idea how are you, Ahmed, longing and shorting at the same time. I'm not doing it at the same time. I'm just having different ideas and different plans, and I'm also managing the trades like separately. Hence why, like as you can see, once Bitcoin had dropped, let me open up the trading view chart again. Let me refresh because it's not loading up. So as you can see, if I go back to this chart, what happened is I had a plan to go long, which I did when we got the level hit, and I had a plan to go short, so I shorted. So it's not something that is like going against each other. It's not a contradiction for you to get a short before the price goes down and then a long before the price goes up. And at the end, before I start getting into the best scalp ideas, guys, right now, just quickly removing or making this anchored view a bit thin. Let's change this also. As you can see right now, what my current positions are a long at or from 107.3 as I had planned it, and then I also got this little short taken from 113.1 as we had seen the random pump happens. And I also still got my best and the most trade that I'm proud of, to be honest, because I've got the all-time high short at 125.4. As you can see, I've got them all open with every single trade actually managed well with stop losses. As you can see on the red corner on the middle of the screen, as you can see, I've got this stop loss being set 106.3, 113.17, and also 125. So I got the short trades being at stop loss at break even with my entry. and sorry, not at break even, at my entry with profits. And I also got this trade, my current long, I've taken 50% off, but I still got my stop loss a bit under my current entry. So what I'm looking at, what I'm waiting for on Bitcoin. As I told you guys, basically, I'm viewing Bitcoin, forget about this harmonic pattern. Let's maybe remove it for a second, have it maybe on the higher time frames. As you can see, forget about the harmonic pattern. For Bitcoin to pump to $120,000, we need for Bitcoin to go back above 110.5 to 111.2. This is the most important area, or if we manage to actually go above it, reclaim it, then I'm going to actually view the harmonic pattern as something that is very probable, and also think about the value rotation that I've explained, where we have always seen the volume profile, value area low and high, us going from one to another. So we can actually think about hitting breaking 111.5, 111.2, go above it, and then for us to wait for the value area high at $119,000, $120,000. If this does not happen, please do not long randomly. You gotta wait for a dip. If the dip happens, then maybe you can actually position yourself in some nice trades. I'm going to mention and talk about some little scalp ideas in case Bitcoin actually provides us with a scalp long before going up, or even if it keeps on dropping, there are no longs to be had. Let me go to the lower time frames. As you can see, go to the 30-minute time frame, guys, to quickly wrap this off, just to give you the nice scalp longs. Thank you, Bonks, for actually your kind words, and also for Salam. I'm doing quite alright. I got a new week's account with your code, man. Thank you, Salam, for supporting me. If you want to also support me and help this channel, maybe you can actually think about using my referral code, my week's referral code, to get the best 50% deposit bonus. It's not a must. However, if you want to support me whilst also making the most out of this, to be honest, deposit, you can actually go to the first link in my description. You would be actually taken to the best welcome bonus, 50% deposit. So if you're thinking about using Wix is actually one of the best to be exchanges made for traders. However, I don't want to take a quick too long actually promoting this exchange. So if you're interested, you want to support me, you can get this the 50% deposit bonus, which is actually basically you depositing anything above $100 in USDT. You would get 50% of that as futures bonus coupon. So you're not able to withdraw it immediately. However, you can use it to get into a trade, and if the trade is profitable, you can take the money off and actually even take it out of the exchange. So if you want to support me, also have the best exchange made for traders, you can actually think about using my link. Thank you, Salam, for mentioning or reminding me of that. I don't want to promote it too much. I don't want to have my whole live stream about like promoting stuff. However, I just wanted to quickly mention that in case you actually want to support me. So what I'm trying to say right now, on the lower time frame, guys, the best and closest ideas for scalp, as I told you guys, whenever the price is going down, I only think about scalping Bitcoin as longs. So the first idea to long is probably going to 109.4 to 109.1. We've got this anchored view up, which basically represents the uptrend that was made from 103. So from this uptrend, we can clearly see that this is quite respected. So if you want to enter along, maybe this would be the closest one. As you can see, probably wait for this 109.4 to 109.1 for this area to be hit, and then see or wait for a claim of 109.5. So it's not the best, to be honest, scalp idea, because I technically see if we lose 109.4 and then hit anchored view up, the anchored view up, and not ever reclaim this, I'm technically viewing Bitcoin as it has the high likelihood of actually going back down from 111.4 back down 111.2 back down to 107, 108, to be honest. So I'm going to be a bit cautious. However, I wanted to mention this scalp idea. It's not the best, to be honest, so it's better just to be actually put an alert on. Never put limit orders whenever I speak about trades, guys. Never put limit orders. Best just to have an alert. As you can see, I've got an alert in the MPUC at 109.477. If this line is hit, I'm going to how I'm going to manage or think about this trade is basically I'm going to wait for this for this NPOC to be hit. I'm going to be waiting for a dip to hit this anchored view up at 109.1, and then if a reclaim, as you can see, if a reclaim of 109.5 happens, then I'm going to go long, scalp Bitcoin as a long. If the reclaim does not happen, if we actually lose 109.5 and never reclaim it, even like go above and retest it as resistance, I'm going to cancel the idea of a long, and I'm going to be waiting for lower prices on Bitcoin. So although this is not the best long idea, there's a possibility of actually this happening if we hit the banker's view and then they're claiming it. So it's better just to have an alert and then watch at how we actually react off of that line, as you can see, off of that zone. Basically, this is the first idea, the much worse scalp idea I've got prepared for you guys, because I'm going to talk about much better ones in case the price goes down. So as I told you, this is the closest area to think about longing. If this area is lost, I'm going to be actually preferring 108 to 107.5 as the best or the second best area to think about longing, because if I go to the higher time frame, say for the 1 hourly time frame, we can clearly see that we've got actually a good volume, a good amount of volume sitting at this area. We got the value area low at 107.5, and we also got the point of control, as you can see, with that considerably much higher volume than any other candles, as you can see. So I'm thinking that Bitcoin has a likelihood, to be honest, as I told you guys, because right now we are also stuck within this volume profile pull. So as actually, like, technically us holding on to 111.4 as resistance would technically mean us going back to 107.5. So although I've got this little scalp idea at 109.4, it's much better in case we go down. It's much better for us technically to go back down to 108 to 107.5. So in case this area does not hold up, I'm going to plan another long at 107.5 to 108. As you can see, this would be the second and actually the much better idea to long, as you can see, us holding on to low or higher lows, and then maybe think about trying retesting the 111.4 area back again, as you can see. So we've got an idea to scalp Bitcoin at 109.2 and also an idea to scalp Bitcoin at 108. However, if these two actually fail, because as I told you guys, I'd like to be a reactionary trader, guys. I'd never actually take trades without waiting for the price to come to me. So I've got an idea at 109.5, an idea at 108.5, or sorry, 108 to 107.5. However, if the price does not go down, I'm never going to long a pump of the price. And also, if the price keeps on going down, say we lose the first area of support with bad reactions, nothing to long, nothing to even fake me out. So I'm going to wait for the second one. If we hit 108, 107.5, and also this actually does not offer me the best reaction, we immediately lose it, and then I'm going to cancel both of these ideas and wait for much lower prices. If this does not hold, technically not holding and not being able to hold 107.5 would technically probably mean go back down to fill down the wick. As I told you, I'm still waiting, and technically there's a high likelihood of us even after months or weeks, there's a high likelihood of us filling or going back down to fill down the wick. That happened, I think, 2 weeks ago. So what I'm trying to say right now is actually, guys, that I'm sorry, some nice shorts, in also some nice longs. However, if I'm going to think about longing again, I'm going to be waiting for these areas. As I said, 109.5. If we get some nice reactions at that, I'm going to long. If not, then I'm going to be waiting for 107, 108, 107.5, 108. If this does not hold, then I'm going to be waiting for the best and the highest, to be honest, best and the highest outcome, or the power of the highest outcome, which would be at filling down the wick at 102 to $97,000. As I've mentioned, guys, this is the most important area where I'm going to probably take a swing long trade, not an intraday one, not a scalp long. This is the best and the highest probably amount of income that I'm going to generate out of this area. So the best opportunity would be at just under 102 to $97,000. This would be a different kind of trade. However, within the lower time frames, a scalps would be 109.5 and also 108 to 107.5. And if you are waiting for the strong and the best pump to happen on Bitcoin, you need to be waiting for a reclaim of 110.5 to 111.2. So if you've got a long still open, do not close it yet. Maybe take some profits, take some chips off the table, but do not close the trade yet, because we haven't seen anything that is bearish from Bitcoin yet. As I told you guys, the inflation is still actually, or the inflation numbers came out good. So maybe technically we had seen a fake out to the downside, and maybe you can see a pull up or a pullback, or sorry, not a pullback, but actually a pump to the upside once we break 110.5. So I'm actually positioned quite well if in case Bitcoin randomly decides to not offer me any longs and it starts going up. I've got a long literally taken from 107.5, so I'm good in that case. However, if we keep going down, I've got also ideas to long. If you are actually questioning or actually waiting for Bitcoin to start going to $120,000, we must hold to onto 111.2, make it or flip it as support, and once that happens, we can technically altogether be waiting on for Bitcoin to go actually go like and break 118, 119, 120 and hold on into my long. So if you're not into any longs, it's better to be honest to wait for a dip. If that doesn't happen, then that's quite alright. Even if you missed like a pump from like 110 to 120, it's actually quite alright because you haven't positioned yourself whilst the price was going down. You didn't take any long. So please don't beat yourself to it, and also do not long a breakout of 111.2. Or even though I'm expecting and I'm thinking that technically if we go above 111.2, I'm going to be holding on into my longs because I'm thinking that the price could easily go to 118, 119. I'd never actually tell you guys to like put a random long at resistance line. So it's better to be waiting for dips for longs and also wait for pumps for actually shorts. There are no shorts ideas to be had right now. The closest short would be actually going to 119. So we either get 119 short or we never short Bitcoin, because I'm thinking only to long Bitcoin if we get a dip. And I also still holding on into my longs and my shorts. I literally got a short at my stop loss at entry with some nice profits in case the price randomly goes down. And I also got my 107 long prepared for any single pump that happens, especially if we manage to get lucky and get back above 111.2 for us to go to 120,000. I've got this ready and actually prepared. If you want to also support me and start taking some nice trades over weeks, please be my guest to actually use my link, my week's exclusive link that would give you 50% deposit bonus. As I told you guys, if you want to support the channel, and also give me in the comments below if you like this format of actually me giving you an hour, 30 minutes to an hour of breakdown of what kind of trades we're looking for, and also if you are interested in making this as something that is actually like from Monday to Friday, as I do with my Arabic channel, as I told you guys. And also tomorrow, hopefully you're gonna be watching me over on the Moon's show, weekend show, as I told you, from every single Saturday and Sunday. You're going to be actually watching me break down some nice trades, hopefully tomorrow and after tomorrow. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be testing out random formats for this channel until we find something that works nice for you. So hopefully your comments will actually be quite helpful to actually decide what kind of